What's up guys, Shawnee Dogs here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do the Shaolin Shuffle Easter Egg step by step. So the very first thing you'll need to do is talk to Pam Greer within this dojo that I just entered. Now although you can talk to her pretty much whenever, right as soon as you get out of the starting subway, you'll want to make sure that it's at least round 5, because until then, when you speak to her, nothing will happen. But after round 5, 4 gourds will appear in each corner of the room, and you can pick a different fighting style. I personally prefer the dragon just based on its abilities, but that's my own personal preference. You can pick whichever one of the 4 that you want. You don't really need to use them all that much. You'll just need to get 15 melee kills to upgrade this ability to its 2nd level, because that unlocks the shuriken. You will be using this shuriken very soon. So this next step involves the rat cages around the map, and I have noticed that they didn't appear for me until I went back to Pam and talked to her again, and then I checked the locations and they did spawn. So they're not always there, but you take your shuriken and you shoot it at this rat cage, and you have to follow this rat all around the map to different cages. Now while all the cages are always there and you can technically just shoot all of them, I have tried doing that without following the rat and it didn't work, so you're just gonna have to follow him. It's much easier to do this at the end of a round because you won't have to worry about too many zombies chasing you. And also keep in mind that your kung fu ability, you can only pick up that gourd once around every 5 minutes, so you won't want to use your ability during the round that you plan on doing this. Now once your rat enters the 5th and final cage, don't expect the same area as I have because it is random. You'll notice a giant yellow circle will appear on the floor. All you have to do is just simply kill zombies that are in this circle, and once you get around 5 to 7 kills, the circle should go away. These kills do not have to be with your kung fu ability. I just did that to make it easier for myself, and the reason you see me running the instant I see that circle go away is because this will trigger an event where a bunch of kung fu zombies will spawn, the ones that appear out of thin air, so they can kill you pretty easily if you're not ready for it or you don't have the right perks or guns. So you want to make sure you're pretty set up at this point, because pretty soon you will have to enter a fight. So once you do finally kill the last kung fu zombie, you'll want to return to the place where that circle was, and you will find a key that says subway on it. So you want to enter that 2nd subway, not the one in the starting location, but the one that is by Pack-a-Punch and the Infernal Lounge. And this is where you will find a locker that your key opens. Now inside is writing that you won't understand in the zombie language, and it just says soul key, but it's not really that important. The only reason we open this locker is because that allows you to move on to the next step, which is locating different symbols around the map. The first of these symbols is located right outside the dojo on the wall of this building. You'll want to shoot that symbol that is all the way on the left with just 1 bullet. When you do it right, you will hear a gong sound. If you do it wrong, it will sound like you just got booted off America's Got Talent. Now the 2nd symbol you'll want to hit is over in the Infernal Lounge. It is on the 1st floor in a bathroom stall, and this time you'll want to shoot the 2nd symbol with again just 1 bullet, and you will hear the same gong sound. And then the last location you will need to travel is back to this fountain area. You'll need to shoot the 1st symbol and then the 2nd symbol, and then you will hear a much louder gong sound at the end to know that you've completed this step. After shooting the last symbol, there will now be a new Rat King symbol right outside in front of the dojo, and it is glowing on the ground. You interact with it and the Rat King will appear. This is your first fight with him, although it is very easy. You can make it even easier for yourself if you just go down into the Rat King's lair and fight him down here at the end of a round when you only have 1 zombie, because he will spawn in kung fu zombies, but if you're at the end of the round, he can only spawn in as many zombies as you have left. Now you can't actually damage him when he has his shield up, and a yellow indicator will show that you're not doing damage. He does have quite a bit of health, so you want to make sure you come with a lot of ammo and maybe a pack-a-punched weapon. If you don't know how to pack-a-punch, I will have a guide down in the description. It is very simple to do. You can do it at early rounds, and I would highly recommend pack-a-punching your starting pistol because you will need it a lot in the final boss fight. Now once you do put enough bullets into this Rat King, he will disappear into the ground. You'll start to get some red hit markers, and that's how you know the fight is over. He will drop a green item on the ground, so you want to go over and pick it up off the ground. It is an eyeball that you will be using for your next step, as you will now have to use this eyeball to locate 12 different symbols around the map. You use the eyeball with L1, and what it does is it basically lights up the area for around 2 seconds, and although it looks like it has a certain radius, these symbols will be lit up all across the map for those 2 seconds. So only one symbol is lit up at a time. They do not repeat locations. This first one is right here next to the dojo. I don't want to show you the spots that weren't actually in my game because that could get a little confusing. The symbols are in pretty specific places, so I'm going to show you the 6 that I got and then provide a link to the Reddit guide that shows pictures of all 12 symbols so you know exactly what you're looking for. I don't just want to aim off into thin air because some of them are pretty far out of the map. My second location happened to be on the side of the awning for this Inferno nightclub. Yours will surely be different. The order is completely random, and where you actually get your 6 specific symbols out of the 12 will be different as well. You can see there my third was actually on the top of this nightclub on the water tower. My fourth was in spawn. This one's pretty hard to see. It's in that inaccessible area that's caged off. My fifth was in this tiny little sliver that's in the second subway station, not the one by spawn. And then finally, my last location was in the bar behind this speaker. Now once you finally do get all 6 symbols, it will take a while because you'll have to check the same locations over and over again as they only spawn in one at a time. Once you finally do this, you'll see that all of the phones in the subways are lit up red. That's what the symbols did, except for one in the second subway that is not lit up and it will be ringing. You have to answer that phone and it will give you a code. It is actually in Morse code, so it will only give you a series of long and short beeps, and these beeps are translated into a series of 3 numbers that correspond with the numbers on Nightmare Summer posters that are around the map. So because this step can be extremely confusing, I made a little cheat sheet for you. If you want to figure this out on your own, that's just standard Morse code, the numbers on the left. And what is on the right are the actual numbers that I got in my game of the Nightmare Summer posters. Now, I don't know if these numbers are consistent or they're just random and can be changed every game you play, so you have to figure out the code every time. But with the like 4S, 1L, 2S, 8L, what that means is that's the series of beeps that you will get. So it's sort of a cheat sheet. In my game, I had 4 short beeps followed by 8 long ones and then 3 short beeps again. So my number was 407. You'll want to be extremely careful when you do this because if you select the wrong poster, you'll actually have to find all of those symbols again, and that can be extremely frustrating. So make sure you get your numbers right. Take the extra time to do it, or when you click on your poster, the number will change and you'll have to start over looking for all these symbols again. These posters are very easy to find. There are 6 of them located around the map. I showed you the one by spawn and the one by bomb stoppers, and the one that I actually needed was in this second train area. There are 3 more that I did not show, but they are very easy to locate. One is on the roof by the Quickies perk, one is right outside of the dojo, and the last one is in the little rooftop area over by the Racing Stripes perk. You will then need to take this poster up to the top of the Inferno nightclub, and I had lost the footage when I put the actual poster on the spotlight, but you can see it here on the right portion of my screen. It covers the spotlight with an X and shines that X over on a window to the other side of this roof. Again, I don't know what happened to the footage when I did this, but it's right above this open window. There's a white X, you shoot it, and then a bunch of ninja zombies will come attack you. So you'll want to do this at the end of a round again, and then save that zombie because you will now need to solve a puzzle. What you are seeing are the locations of all the symbols. They're all within this little rooftop area, and they will appear once you kill the last kung fu zombie in the area. Each of these strange symbols corresponds to a letter in the English language. The translations can be found in the link in the description, but basically what you're doing is trying to build a word based off of that starting letter in pink on that first wall. Now, if you want to save yourself some time, you basically get around 10 tries per round to do this before your symbols will disappear and you have to wait until the next round. So what I would suggest doing is just shooting the first symbol you see. You hear the wrong noise and the letter changes until it changes to M, because that's the sequence that I got, and I had to spell out memories. I don't know what all the words are for all of those starting letters. The only ones I do know, you can spell out Pam Grier, Rat King, Memories, Katana, and Death. All the other ones, I have absolutely no idea what they are, and because you get so many tries per round, it pretty much gives you every starting letter before it'll force you to go to the next round. So I would definitely suggest just copying exactly what I do. Once you do spell out the word, it will disappear off the wall. You'll hear a noise cue, and you have to go to this rooftop area where you will find another Rat King symbol on the ground. This will summon him for the second time. You have to fight him. I chose the easy way out. I did this at the end of a round and fought him inside of the lair, so there's a lot of room to work with. He's still not really that deadly, although now he does launch his shield at you, so he has a new attack, but he really doesn't do much damage. If you just keep your distance, you should be fine. And once he sinks into the ground, he will drop another object. It is his brain. You go up to it and pick this up, and you are on to the next step. Before you do anything else, you need to go back to the dojo and speak to Pam. And when you do this, you will notice a little cigarette burn mark on the top right of your screen, and this will continue to go on. You need to complete 3 full rounds. After those 3 rounds, you'll just be in the middle of the next round, nothing will really happen, and then all of a sudden something will flash across your screen and you will be thrown into a missing reel. It will put you right in front of the dojo and you can't escape. Every single exit is covered in fire, and if you try to go through it, it will instantly down you. So you don't even have to kill any zombies. All you have to do is continue to train them in this area, keep running around in a circle, and after around a minute or so, the fire will die down. This turnstile will appear on your screen so you can pick it up, and you can now leave the area and proceed into the subway. This is right above the spawn area, and you simply place the turnstile where you see the broken one. I made a habit of talking to Pam after each step because I'm not sure when exactly you do have to talk to her, and some things might not be able to be activated until you do so. So definitely consider talking to her between every step if something's not working. Now once you've placed the turnstile, you'll want to head over into this back alley behind the heebie-jeebies. You want to go up this ladder and head all the way to the end of this scaffolding, and you will see right here, this is in another gameplay so you can't see it, but this shuttered window that I'm staring at, it will be open and there will be another little glowing Rat King symbol. You shoot it and the shutter will go down, and that's how you know that you're on to the next step. There will be more glowing circles where you have to kill zombies. They're scattered around the map. Only one appears at a time. They can repeat locations, and you have to do this, I believe, 6 times, and after the 6th circle that you fill up with zombie souls, you will hear a gong sound. After this, you will then want to head over to the Inferno nightclub to begin one of your final steps. You will see a zombie dancing in the middle of the dance floor with a disco ball above his head. If you don't see this right away, it's because you need to make your way to the 2nd floor of this Inferno and press X, interact with that disco hits record right next to the DJ table. Once you do this, you'll want to train up some zombies and try to remain as close to the dance floor as possible, or at least keep some zombies on this dance floor, because you only want to kill that disco zombie, and every time you kill it, it will transfer over to another zombie, and you have to keep doing this. It took me around 15 or 20 zombies to kill before it finally went away, and once it does, if you did this correctly, you are now ready to fight the Rat King for a 3rd time. A symbol should appear right outside of this disco inferno. You spawn the Rat King in, kill him any way you can. Again, I make it easy by going down into the sewers, and I only have 1 zombie left in the round. This time he will have a spear and have a long range attack, but he's still very weak. He doesn't really do much, and once you kill him, he will drop a heart. This is the last thing that you need before you enter the final boss fight, so you'll want to make sure that you have everything prepared, all your perks, your Fate of Fortune cards, your pack of punched weapons, and then with this heart, you take it, you go up to Pam and talk to her, and she will say that you are finally ready, and once you go back down into the Rat King's lair, a cutscene will initiate, and you are now in the final boss battle. There will be portals on the doors, you can no longer escape, but if you are playing solo, you actually get unlimited downs. Not sure if this was intentional or not, but it helps a lot. You pretty much can't lose. It's just you either quit the game or you beat the Rat King. So for this first stage, it's very similar to every other time that you fought him so far. You just run around, there'll be a lot more zombies this time if you've been doing it at the end of rounds, and there's nothing different. This is just like how you've been fighting him each of the other times. And once you do manage to beat him in this form, 3 items will drop: the heart, the eye, and the brain that you got from earlier, and you'll have to choose one. These are the 3 different forms that you basically have to fight him to win, and I started off with the brain. After you grab the brain, a large orange symbol will appear in the middle of the floor. You press it and it will start off the phase. The reason I'm not showing it right now is because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I was just training around the map and I happened to complete it, because what essentially has to happen is a bunch of zombies will spawn in, and some of them have blue eyes. They will not attack you, and they will just go into the center of the room where the brain is, and you just have to leave them there for a few seconds and you will complete the step. After that point, you will then have to fight the Rat King again and hopefully not get destroyed like I am here. And once you inflict enough damage, the other 2 items will drop: the eye and the heart, and you pick another one to start. I picked the heart, and that was a terrible decision. That was the step of the Easter egg that everyone was stuck on because nobody knew exactly what to do. There's acid all around the edges of the room. If you stay in it for too long, it will damage and eventually kill you. And you can also use your chi ability to smash 3 different boxes around the room, which will grant you different perks. They cycle through. I found that the most useful ones were Jug and Double Tap, but I really only needed Jug. After much trial and error, I realized that you basically need to kill 1 zombie at least in each pool of green in order to clear it, and you need to clear the entire room very quickly, and if you don't do it fast enough, you'll hear a laugh and the acid will fill back up again. So you have to do this very quickly, and I found that the easiest way to do it was to just use my L1 ability all 4 times with my chi. That cleared about a third of the room, and then I stayed up a little bit longer to get a few more pools out of the way. But then after that, I was getting most of them while I was downed. Maybe got a little bit lucky, but I knew exactly what I needed to do. And this is definitely the hardest part of the Easter egg. If you're not doing this in solo, you don't get unlimited downs, so it's very difficult to coordinate with other players. But eventually I did manage to clear the entire room, and after you do, you'll hear a nice sound cue and you'll see a max ammo spawn in the center of the room, and you are ready to take on your last object. In my case, it was the eye. In between each of these phases, you do have to continue to inflict damage to the Rat King so that those objects can drop. But there's nothing really special that you'll need to be doing here. You can make good use of the vent trap so you don't have to deal with the zombies, but just make sure you keep your distance and you should be good to go. Now once you do pick up the eye, you'll notice that it'll start to scan the room similarly to when you were scanning for those 12 different symbols, and you'll see these runes on the ceiling that are glowing. All you have to do is continue to shoot them. There were a lot and some of them kept spawning back, so I don't know if there's an exact order that you have to shoot them, but I just shot around 20 to 25 of them and I completed this step. So there's nothing really too difficult. You will go down a lot if you're looking up in the sky, but it's a pretty easy step if you're doing this solo or you have the vent trap on. So once you have finished, you've shot the last rune, you will have completed all 3 of your objects, your last max ammo will drop in the center of the room, you will now have to finally fight the Rat King and kill him for the last time. You have to keep in mind that this is a marathon. Don't just go all out trying to inflict as much damage as possible. He has a ridiculous amount of health. I don't know if there's some sort of strategy to be employed here, some way to inflict extra damage or kill him very quickly, but for me it took like 5 straight minutes of just constant shooting with pack-a-punched pistols that do explosive damage. I even got so bored at one point that I just felt like cheesing it. I just sat in a corner and kept spraying off because once you go down, it gives you more ammo. So I just sat there shooting him again and again, but he did finally die while I was down. I was really surprised. It took a lot longer than I expected, but once you enter this boss room, you're pretty much guaranteed to complete the Easter egg if you are solo. You cannot die. Pam's got your back. She's going to revive you. It may say 200 downs at the end of your game, but you will have completed the Easter egg. This guide took a very long time to make and even longer to actually complete this Easter egg, so a like would be much appreciated. Definitely appreciate any feedback that you guys have. And if you have any questions, I'm sure I'd be able to come up with an answer or steer you in the right direction. I have an absurd amount of playtime on this map already, and this is one of the longest Easter eggs we've had in a very long time. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'll leave the ending cutscene on the end of this video so you can check that out. And you are able to pick up a soul key after the end of that cutscene, so cool stuff. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you found it helpful, please be sure to drop a like, comment down below with any thoughts or questions you may have. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new for some more great videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thank you, my young apprentices. With the Rat King's demise, you now possess the wisdom, strength, and courage to move forward on your journey. I present you with this token on behalf of all of those that remain imprisoned. May it serve you well on the journey ahead. Namaste.
Damn, she was badass.
Yeah, too bad she isn't coming along for the ride.
All I know is if we catch him on the flip side, I'm calling dibs.
Well, I guess it's time to grab that key and get the hell out of here.
Oh man, who the hell turned off all the color?